Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Chandra and I make videos about reading, writing, and all things books. Today's video is a review about Likewise, an app that is kind of like Goodreads, and I've seen it in some places mentioned as a substitute for Goodreads. Here's my review of it. To be fair, I didn't use it for very long. I still have it on my phone. I don't use it a ton. I did not enjoy it. First, I will say the interface, it's not that great. It's not, in my opinion, it's not much better than Goodreads. In fact, it's probably worse than Goodreads. Maybe that's because I've been using Goodreads so long that I'm really comfortable with it, but I feel that it is just a not great interface. I will also mention before I get started that it can be used for movies, TV, and podcasts in addition to books. So that may be something that some people find desirable, but for me, it was really annoying because it would just keep asking me about those things. Thing one, the app is geared more towards readers. Like, it's advertised more towards readers, but it doesn't seem to take into account authors. I didn't find a way for authors to really interface with the app. So if you are wanting to use it in that way, it would require more investigation that I just haven't had time to do. And this is speaking more towards the reader side. But as far as the author side, I didn't see any easy way for that to be directly targeted. More on that later. Second thing, books are separated by lists. There's no way to just browse all the books in a genre. I hate, double hate, absolutely loathed that part. A lot of what I've used Goodreads for is book recommendations and finding things that are similar to a book that I enjoyed. If I can't do that, what's the point? And the lists, I mean, you can add books to your own lists and you can look at other people's lists, but you can't just scroll through a specific genre. There's no rhyme or reason to how the lists are put together. It's all based off of other people's classifications, or if you specifically search for a book. As far as discovering new books, I thought it was really, really crappy. Thing three, these lists can be very specific to hard to find niches. That was one thing that I thought was good, in the sense that if you specifically wanted to make a very niche list, you could do that. Or if you knew someone who had a very specific niche list, you could find that. But as far as just discovering things, it's very haphazard, because how do you find the list? And what determines which lists are on the main feature page? It's very random. Number 4, the books that I've seen are the books that everyone's talking about. That's back to the not being able to scroll through or discover new things. The only way a book really ends up on a list is if someone is like, I really like this book, let me put it on a list, and then that list is either featured or you're friends with the person and it comes across your feed. As far as indie books or indie authors or just lesser known books, even if it's TradPub, it's not like you're just gonna stumble across it unless a bunch of other people have read it, are reading it, or are looking for it / searching for it, if that makes sense. So if you're trying to branch out, SOL. Number 5, the rating system is simple, like or dislike. There's no space for nuance. Like with Goodreads, how you have the 5-star rating and you can go anywhere along that spectrum. No, you either like the book or you dislike it. There is no in between. Number 6, you have to select each book to indicate if you've read it or if you want to save it to your TBR. You can't just add it to a list as you scroll. You have to specifically click on the book and add that you want to read it or add that you've read it. It's really, really clunky, and that's back to the user interface. It's not great. And then it's like three clicks in order to look at a book. That's too many clicks. Number 7, the app also connects to Google and Goodreads for ratings. So it's not really a way to escape Goodreads. If it relies on Goodreads, then you're pretty much still using Goodreads. So there's that. I mean, ta-da, the shocking news you've all been waiting for. No, you can't escape Goodreads. Number 8, you can comment on a book and reply to comments, so you can do that on Goodreads too. It's not unique or special. Number 9, it keeps asking you to rate movies, TV, and podcasts, even if you indicate that you only want it for books at the beginning. So it asks you when you log into the app and you're setting everything up, it asks you what you want to use the app for. And then it keeps recommending the other features to you, even if you really don't want that. It's really annoying. It's like, have you thought about? No, I thought about it. The answer is no, but it keeps asking. I hated that. Number 10, you can win prizes by inviting friends. Experience unknown. I haven't invited anybody. I don't intend to invite anybody. I don't plan to continue to use the app, but if you like stuff like that, give it a shot. Number 11, you can ask for recommendations with hashtags, but you can also do that on Twitter and Goodreads, and in some Facebook groups with more users and an easier interface. So to me, what's the point of asking for recommendations with a hashtag if you don't know anyone on the app? How do they connect that with you, and how do you trust their opinion? I feel like even with Twitter, there's a little bit more vetting because you're friends with those people on Twitter for some reason. Like you're into some of the same things. You know that they're also readers or writers or whatever the case may be. So if they recommend a book to you, you're more apt to try it versus you don't know anything about these individuals if they're not your friends, and if they are your friends, like how many friends do you know on the app? I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. You can tag people in your questions, which goes back to 8 about the comments, 9 it keeping asking you about other stuff, and 10 winning prizes. So I mean, if there's someone that you want to ask all the time, why not just text the person to ask them? Or I don't know. Yeah, if you want to tag someone specifically, wouldn't you just text them to ask them what they thought about the book, or ask them the question, whatever. I don't get that feature. It doesn't seem like a big plus to me. Also, I mean, I can see it maybe if you're meeting people through the app, but so it seems like the biggest thing about this app is that you can search for books, answer questions about books, or ask questions. It seems like that's the biggest difference from Goodreads, but also Goodreads has some great forums and stuff like that you can use as well, which are much more populated than this app is at this moment. So I feel like also with Facebook groups, there's some great Facebook groups. There's some great Facebook groups that I'm a member of, and you can ask a question and get a bunch of responses within a few minutes. People regularly will post screenshots of a stack of books and say, hey, which one should I read first, or which one should I read next, or which of these do you think is the best book? You can get instant responses and talk about a lot of different books very easily, versus this, it's very targeted. I don't know. I didn't see any major features that were any better than Goodreads or Google or even Amazon as far as recommending the book. And I thought especially in Amazon, you have a much better selection and the algorithm gives you better recommendations, and books are easier to find, especially indie books are easier to find than they are on this app. I keep calling it this app. The name of this app is Likewise. I can't believe this is the first time I'm saying this. Whatever. I didn't like it. So number 14. I've said this a couple of times, but I'm really going to emphasize this. It is really hard to find indie self-published books or authors on this platform. It is very difficult. Number 15, you can't click on or view the author or their complete works. It's there, like you can see their the author's name, but you can't click on it, and there's no way to see every book that they've written. It's kind of pointless, really, is how I feel about it. Basically, bottom line, after all of these points, what I'm trying to say is I've tried Likewise, and I do not like it. There, I said it. This is my review of Likewise. I hope this was helpful. If you've tried it, let me know what you think. If I maybe misused it or I missed a great feature, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. Anything else? Anything else? Yeah, that's it. That's how I feel about Likewise. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.